From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big early morning of early mornings LA with incredible great news about fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In today's recording, we go over the breaking news as the Senate now has the recon. And the Senate is going to be adding lots of checks on top of the existing checks in that recon. Those existing changes that the senators are going to add on to are on top of $15,000 of checks passed by the House. Then third stimulus is still paying off the door. How can you use third stimulus to pay your bills today? I'm going to show you how. With viewers getting on average $45,000 of checks paid to them under third stimulus, you're going to get this money in this recording. Then we turn it to student loan debt forgiveness. More debt can be forgiven, the latest across the board as student loan debt heats up and we go to the finish line. But there's stimulus coming in January, and that is huge. 5.9% is your COLA raise, not enough. They're going to raise it under fifth stimulus additional. Then the big exciting details of frame wars. They don't see eye to eye, nor do we, nor do you, nor does anyone who is paid $450 a frame. Oh my goodness, the dramatics, the details, and the reunion episode. All those more as we go into a big morning. The toast is toasted, the butter is buttering. I'm feeling great. Are you feeling great? You look beautiful. The hairstyle, I'm not so sure about that hairstyle. Other than that, you look great. And it's a big, bold, early mornings podcast because the toast is toasted, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here. And it's time for some deliciousness direct from Santa Monica, California, starting right now. Here you go, everybody. The House of Representatives passed your incredible recon, and now we're off to the Senate, and the Senators are going to add changes to that. Those changes from the Senators would add more checks on top of the $15,000 of checks that are currently in this recon. And what about a third stimulus? Yes, still paying out $45,000 across the board. All the latest in today's recording. We'll go over student loan debt forgiveness, the latest that's being offered, and then that fifth stimulus coming in January. What's the latest on that? I'll have those details and more, plus frame wars, plus a little bit about some cows, or a lot about some cows, lots of cows, Calcino cows, and more. And it's a big early mornings broadcast. I'm excited you're here. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video and consider becoming a member. In this video, we have a lot to go over. We're going to go over fourth stimulus, fifth stimulus, third stimulus, and we're going to start with the big money under fourth stimulus that pays you on average about $15,000. Yes, fourth stimulus has a lot of money in there for you. It's subdivided across three classes of checks, two add-ons. Let's go over each of them starting right now. Here we go. Hazard pay got in there, and that is for my essential workers. Then the earned income tax credit, $4,000 of elder care got in there, $4,000 to care for young children. Then they got the CTC, the child tax credit for one more year. They got the big Pell Grant, $550 checks to my college students. Then they got the money to repair the home if it's a low-income community, and big surprises of the $12,500 for the purchase price of a new electric vehicle. Wow, that is the first cost of checks, about $5,000 right there. The first add-on of checks comes from Maxine Waters to free money for the purchase price of your first home. Well, a free home? No, free money to buy the home. Oh, how much? She wanted $25,000. She's not going to get that number. She'll get a little bit less, but it's deliciousness. How do you get this money? It's coming up later in this video. I'll go over the details. Let's go to the second cluster of checks, and here we go. Second cluster of checks are home repairs and paid leave. Wow, this is huge. They got in there the paid leave, the household tax credit, the universal pre-K, and also the home repairs. This time the home repairs are to weatherize your home, not to winterize. This is weatherize. That is if you're a hurricane zone or tornado zone, or a zone in which Kevin McCarthy doesn't zip it. That's a natural disaster, isn't it? So there you go. Let's go to the second add-on of checks. And it comes from the wonderful Bob Casey. It is huge. The senator out of Pennsylvania wants that home health care. He wanted $250 billion, but he got a little bit less. And how is it? This is here we are. He got a little bit less. Is free home health care for my seniors and people on disabilities. Let's go to the third cluster of checks. Here we go. Stay with me, ladies. In this video, I'll go over how to get these incredible sums of checks. They got free school meals for all. They got cheaper prescription medication, immigration reform. They got the farmers. They got the free internet. They got the independent contractors, and they got the seniors. Now, the seniors is sort of indicative of what we're dealing with. Why? Because the seniors, they got 2 provisions in on the House, and they vowed to add 3 on the Senate. So over 50% of them are missing. This is why the senators said we have a lot of work to do. They got in there the eligibility of those 12 holdout states. They got in there the hearing aid, but they didn't get in the vision, dental, and the lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, which brings us to MSC. The great news is the reviewers reached out to those 6 senators last week, and those 6 senators told them it's going in there still. Yes, those 6 senators still represent. They're putting in that monthly IRS stimulus check. Their last provision that they talked about was $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter for 6 months, and that's huge. They talked about the same eligibility as third stimulus, $75,000 or less, single individual, you would get it. $150,000 or less, you got that third stimulus check, double it. Family of 4, you got it, quadruple it. If you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, you got it as well. Now, what's important to understand is that the senators have a lot of work to do. They have lots and lots of work to do. And that lots of work involves adding lots of provisions to this recon. Senate voter on Senate subcommittee, lots of opportunities. And what's important to understand is you need to advocate. You need to give yourself some time per week to advocate. Pick up the phone and advocate for inclusion because the senators have a lot of work to do. But also give yourself some time to get your bills paid today. And you get your bills paid today under third stimulus. Yes, third stimulus still has fortunes out there. $45,000 average viewers channel has gotten from third stimulus. Go get that money. Get your bills paid. How? I'll show it later in this video. I have all the details. Advocate for fourth stimulus in the future, but get your bills paid today under third stimulus. That's how we do it. In the second half of the video, we go over this as well. We'll go over the recon that's been passed on the House side, now on the Senate side. We'll go over the Senate changes. We'll go over each of these checks in this incredible recon that pay about $15,000. We'll go over student loan debt forgiveness. We'll go over fifth stimulus coming in January. We're just about 30 days out for this one. Those exciting details, plus frame wars. It's a big, bold, beautiful, more early mornings broadcast. I'm excited you're here. I'm feeling great. You look delicious. You could have brought some bacon, but otherwise you look good. And here you go. Here's the community page. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now with, of course, as we go into the second half of this video, but also that color raise of this stimulus. That's coming in January. But the meat and potatoes starts right now. As we go over the big sums of money you can get under this third stimulus recon. Yes, the breaking news is the recon has passed, but the Senate is adding changes to the recon, and that the recon currently has $15,000 in checks. I'll go over all these incredible checks. We'll be turning back to third stimulus that has $45,000 in there. But then we'll be also going to student loan debt forgiveness. So those details and more as we go into a big, bold, beautiful early mornings broadcast. I'm excited you're here. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube record. I want you guys to grow up a family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video and consider becoming a member. Coming up next is Mornings Countdown, 7 o'clock. Then the exciting details of Mornings Alive at 9 a.m. And with that, subscribe, like this video, and consider becoming a member. And here we go. The President of the United States delivered a big win last week, and that win was the passage of your recon. That passage of your recon in the House side now sends it to the Senate side. That recon has about $15,000 of checks in there before the senators add their provisions on top of that. But what are these provisions that pay you about $15,000? Let's go over each of them one at a time. Get that pen and paper ready. There's a lot of money in here, folks. The first provision that they got in there is the paid leave. It's a lot of money. $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. $800 a week if you make $35,000 or more per year. $400 a week if you make $15,000 or more per year. How many weeks? Up to 4 weeks a year. Whoa, that's a lot. That is $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. It is. Now, the eligibility is delicious because it's everyone. All income levels, W-2, 1099, all types of workers. If you do not work, but you live in a household and someone takes care of you, then they get the check for you and that family. For example, live with your son. He takes off from work once a week to take you to the doctor. He'll get paid for the household for you. There you go. The second one of provision they got in there was the SALT cap. It's currently at $10,000, and they raised it to $72,500 of what you pay in state and local taxes. This would reform the 2017 tax overhaul from the Trump administration. They got $40 billion in there for job training, which is huge. Definitely big for my seniors because under this stimulus is going to allow you to work. So if you want to get back to work now, you'll be able to get back to work and get free job training. A lot of people ask me daily about a cheaper insurance that they got that in there. This was the 12 holdout states, Republicans, that didn't want to provide for or pay for Obamacare. So the Democrats got a workaround plan, and that workaround plan is years of subsidized private insurance to low-income uninsured people in those households, which brings us to the housing aid. Wow, $150 billion for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, food, and more. And then under four stimulus, it also has home repairs, weatherize your home, and first-time home purchases. If the first few items sound familiar, they should. They were in third stimulus. This is why you don't wait for fourth stimulus, because it's available under third stimulus, and that money is still paying out across the board. We've had so many success stories. If you've had a success story, send to me on private messages on social media. Jay Grant says, I got $4,800 for rent the last few days and helped to pay a portion of our light to the end of the year. We couldn't have done it without your support. So thank you so much, LA. And I speak for all of us. We love you, LA. Purple Power. Scarpia says she got Snap. She finally got on Snap. Congrats. Melissa says she got $4,000 for past due rent, $3,000 for future rent, and money at a couple $1,000s for utilities. She's almost at $8,000. Incredible. And Larica got money as well. So let's go over how you get this money. First, you qualify. You qualify. Single individual, married couple, children, not children, red state, blue state, behind the bills, not behind your bills, elder, young, on disability, on benefits, not on benefits. You qualify. When we look at these sums of money, we're going to do some rent, utilities, mortgages, some more. And we'll start first with the rent. The money for rent on this channel was about $20,000 to $30,000 about 3 months ago. This was the graphic. Now it's $40,000 a month. Wow, this is huge. And this has grown substantially in just 3 months. So why has it grown so much? Because people got sophisticated by watching the videos. Where are you going to get this money from? I'm going to show you right now. If you're a member, it's in the newsletter. If you're not, get that pen and paper and ready. And for the first time on Early Mornings LA, I'm going to show you how to do it and how not to do it. All right, here's how you do it. Reach out to 6 places. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. Keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. There you go. You put applications on file as many places as you can. You apply repeatedly. You get money from the same source more than once and from 2 different sources at the same time. So if you got money for a company from Organization 1 in January, go back and get some money from that Organization 1 now. If you got money from Organization 1 yesterday, can get money from Organization 2 today. All right, there you go. Let's go over how not to do it. Here's how not to do it. reach out to one place and get a no and stop. Yeah, that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. You don't stop because you got one no. I mean, that's ridiculous. Number two, you put an application on file and you wait around for 5 months for him to get back to you. No, you don't do it that way. Or you say, I got money in January, I'm not going to do it again. That's not true. That's not how you do it. All right, let's turn to utility assistance. Utility assistance is so much money across the board, and utility assistance has grown substantially. Utility assistance was about $15,000. So where did it grow? It went to about here. Oh my goodness. Well, no, that was where it was. It's grown now to about $80,000 for Mark's brother-in-law. Wow. The CPI index revealed, the Consumer Price Index, a week ago, that utilities are going up a lot, 59.1% year to date. So get this big money for utilities right now because it's going up a lot across the board. Then you want to get SNAP. It's from Department of Agriculture. Get that food. It is huge. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000. So get that money. It has gone up so much. That SNAP has gone astronomically higher. Why? Because of an increase last month, 25% lifetime. So get it. Where do you get it? From Department of Agriculture. Eligibility is easier than a third stimulus check. So go get that money. Then get multiple sums of money. Yes, multiple sums of money. Here are the monies that Nancy and Niecy got. They got 3 items. But Mark had 2 items. So I said, Mark, go get the third item. He did. He got the third item, which brought himself to $50,000. But Mark didn't stop there. He's since got another items. It's brought him over $100,000. You want to keep on pushing across the board because the more money you get, the easier it becomes across the board. Keep on pushing. And Lorraine got over $120,000. She was at $105 before. Which brings us to Johnny, one of our best examples on the channel. Johnny was a viewer who started this channel with $0. By the middle of the week, he got 3 items with like 3 other people did. 3 items, $45,000. But Johnny didn't stop there. By the weekend, he got 7 items approved. How did he get 7 items approved? By pushing and by calling a lot of places. He had to have called about 15 places to get approved by 7 because you don't get 100% accuracy or 100% wins when you call up. He kept on pushing. 15 places, 5 days, got 7 items approved. How much you get? $80,000. Very common. Now, the second part of this video I like, the first reason I first like this comment, this detail of Johnny, is because he reached out to so many places. For anyone who says I reached out to one place and called it quits, that's not how you do it. You have to call out multiple places to get multiple sums of money. I like the second part of Johnny's story. He reached out to his family member and said, hey, watch this kid in LA. He's a real deal. And I got $8,000 last week. Oh, really? From what? He said third stimulus. He said, third stimulus, Johnny. I've watched local news. There's nothing in third stimulus except a stimulus check. And there is no money under fourth stimulus either. He says, yes, there is, and yes, there is. I watched it on his channel. He's the real deal. And they said, how come we don't see it on broadcast media? I said, I don't know. Watch LALATE. And he showed them how to do it. And by the end of the week, each of them had $50,000. Now, the second part of the story is so important because people always ask me to compare this to something else. This is the number 3 financial news channel in America right now. And the broadcasters, they don't cover first stimulus. They don't cover second stimulus. They don't cover third. And they sure aren't covering fourth. They don't care if you get this money or don't get the money. They don't go through the analysis. They don't apply for you. They don't show you how to get the money. They barely tell you what's even in the law. So people sort of look elsewhere to get self-validation. Don't do that. And what's important to understand is that here's the money. Go get it. Stay with me. Stay tuned because I go over all these sums of checks, which brings us back into forced stimulus right now. We last left off in that housing provision. Well, the other provisions, parts of that housing, are home repairs. That's low income. And then the weatherize your home. That's everyone. And then the money under the first-time home purchases. Yes, first-time home purchases. Great. They got $150 billion in there for home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. They got a $550 check of the Pell Grant for those college students. They got $12,500 for the purchase of an electric vehicle. U.S. auto manufacturer. I think this is a problem. I think this has to go. Why? There's no cars that qualify. There's like 3 cars that qualify for this provision. Doesn't make sense. Worst part about it is it violates fair trade agreements with Mexico and Canada. You can't have a law that tells a person to get something that's bought and made in Mexico over something that's made in Canada. That's against the trade agreement of the three countries. How does this work and why is this violated? Because you have two separate cars, for example, like the Ford Mach-E, which is made in Mexico in a union plant owned by the United States with U.S. union workers in the plant. And then you have the Cadillac Lyric, for example, built in Tennessee. And that is built by U.S. union laborers in a Tennessee plant. They say because the car built in Mexico was made by union employees, still doesn't qualify. It has to be made in U.S. soil. I don't think they can do that provision. I think they have to modify it. They got $65 per child for food when they're not in school. Which brings us to the best provision of this recon, which is the cheaper medication. Boy, this is exciting. Medicare Part B, Medicare Part D. This is arthritis, diabetes, cancer, the most expensive medications out there. For example, insulin's $1,000 a dose. It will now be $35 a dose. Immediately, Big Pharma will go into negotiations with Medicare on day one to get those cheaper rates, and they will slash across the board. Again, that's Medicare Part B and D. Then it'll grow to 30 medications by 2028 with the rate of inflation tied, and that they cannot increase them more than that, or Big Pharma will be fined. Fined. So laughs Pat Toomey, Republican senator. He says you can't put a fine in a recon. I don't think you can either. So that's among the provisions that the Senate parliamentarian may hack out. She's also vowing to hack out, potentially, immigration reform. She previously said it cannot go by recon. Paid leave is in the battleground of there as well. Which brings us to the programs that the senators are adding. You see this graphic, 15,000. It's undervaluing the situation. I know it's undervaluing because everything under third symbols is continued, and that's 45,000. And then there's the Senate changes. So there's a lot of other items coming from the senators. And what are they doing? Bernie says the best bill since 16's bill needs major changes. And he said that we're adding stuff in there. The people who say the same things are the same people who talk about MSC, Casey Coons, Warren Wyden. There you go. So get that pen and paper ready. Let's go some wonderful checks in this recon. We got universal pre-kindergarten, which is for 3 and 4-year-olds. They got the child care, which is a back-end tax credit. They got the CTC, which is a front-end check, $3,600 approximately for 1 more year. The earned income tax credit for my essential workers, that's a back-end check. They got the home health care, which is like a covered benefit. The Medicare hearing aid, which is likely a check. And then we went over the Pell Grant, $550 check to my college students. We went over the housing, and we went over the $65 per month per child. So what's left? Bernie vows to add a lot of stuff in there, and he's vowing, in addition to MSC, the dental, vision, and the lowering the eligibility age of Medicare. Okay, let's go over the details of that right now. Medicare eligibility is currently at 65. Bernie wants to drop it to 55. I don't think that can happen. That's a little rich, a little expensive. Bob Casey wants it at 60. I think that's doable. Then Bernie wants to deal with the Medicare eligibility, which it's current then on the issue of dental. Bernie wants dental in there. How much? 10 years of full benefits. Oh, Bernie, I don't know if you can do that. Don't know if you can get away with 10 years of benefits. That's a lot of coverage. He then proposed 3 years of full benefits. I think that's possibly doable. But the last offer, though, on the table was $850 checks. I don't think that's sufficient. $850 per year, it doesn't even cover most procedures, so I don't think that works. I think they need to have more money. Then Bernie wants to provide for vision, eye exam, and a pair of frames. Eye exam, pair of $50, and a pair of frames, $100, call it a day, $150, here's a check, seniors in the mail, done. Pretty simple, don't you think? Not simple, says the latest installment of Frame Wars. One viewer said, who are these people that are watching this channel saying we should have 3 frames at $500 a pot? What do they think we're entitled to? And my response is, they think it's titanium. They think it's a trifle. We've had viewers saying that, I'm really entitled to 3 glasses. I'm special. I need vision, reading, and also sunglasses. Bernie, do MSFs, multiple stimulus frames, do MSS, multiple stimulus sunglasses. Yeah, a new sunglasses every month for 6 months, pandemic plus 1 year. I get just do it, Bertie. No, you do not need that many frames. You do not need that many frames, pandemic plus 1 year frames. I don't think so. Yeah, we use that language for another part of this week on. So what is the reaction so far to frame wars? Oh boy, there's a lot of reaction. Let's take a look. I'll be back with you just shortly. And that, my friends, is frame wars. Meantime, student loan debt forgiveness is heating up. Art Sullivan was on the live chat yesterday. He said, "Gotta do it, 50,000." I agree, but the president's not offering 50,000. So the current offer on the table is $10,000. Democrats should take it. It does not stop them from asking more money next year. But for now, they should take this and come back and get more next year. President forgave student loan debts for individuals who became disabled after graduation. President forgave student loan debts for people who went to work in the nonprofit sector 10 years after graduation. And President forgave student loan debts who went to work in the public sector 10 years after graduation. City, county, state, federal government. This is what the Democrats should do. Take the $10,000 and run. Meantime, this stimulus. Oh, yes, baby. This stimulus needed in January because COLA benefits doesn't got it. Your COLA benefits lift is 5.9% starting January 1. Did you get the letter? You did. So this stimulus comes right behind that, and that is the raise up of your benefits one big time and a new benchmark. Why? Because your benefits are undervalued pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, and now after the pandemic. So they want to get you caught up, and then they want to tie you to inflation, get you off of COLA, and tie you to inflation, which can be 2 to 3% every year. So you're going to get 1, 2, 3 lifts right off the board under this provision recon. And then every year, if inflation is 2 to 3%, you go up another 2 to 3% on top of that. Meantime, if you haven't become a member, what are you doing? The membership link is in this video. Become a member today and get that incredible newsletter. Features all the big money under first, second, and third stimulus, and what's proposed under fourth stimulus. Now, the membership newsletter features all the incredible money in that recon that is there for you from the local authorities. It features the 6 places to reach out to. It features also the nonprofits, all 5 of them. It features the statement from Treasury you want to read before making the phone call. It features also the big monies item also proposed under fourth stimulus. Pick up the phone and get that. Pick up the phone and advocate, but also pick up the pen and apply and become a member today. The link is under the video. Just click the link and become a member today, and get that membership newsletter, which comes out 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Monday through Friday via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system. And with that, we go into my final commentary as we start an early morning's broadcast starting right now. So overnight, the president announced that he is supporting Jay Powell as also your Fed chair to be reelected next year. Jay Powell, of course, is a Republican. The president is a Democrat. But insiders thought that the president would choose Jay Powell. It was a good choice. He delivers stability. He's done a good job as a Fed chair, and everyone really likes him. He has bipartisan support. Remember, the Fed is not supposed to be a partisan agency, and this was a good position moved by the president. The president is expected to give big speeches today, as he started them yesterday, about inflation. And he's taking it head on, and he's doing a good job addressing it. Let's see how he deals with it, because talking about it is good, but he needs to do a little bit more. Meantime, your bills. You got bills to pay, so get those bills paid right now under third stimulus, and those bills are available across the board. We have 2 approaches we're doing here on this channel. The push to advocate for MSC inclusion in the fourth stimulus package and anything else you think that should be included, and also the push to get your bills paid today. You don't want to rely on only a one approach situation. You want a double approach. Why? Because you want that fourth stimulus to be robust. Senators have a lot of checks to add in there. You want them to add the checks in there. You want them to add these checks and any other checks that are great. But you also need your bills paid this week. And those bills can be paid this week under third stimulus. The great news is that there's so much money of third stimulus. The great news is it's so easy to get. Eligibility is so straightforward. And that third stimulus pays your bills right today. I can't get every bill paid, but I can get most of your bills paid. And we're not talking about past due bills. We're also talking about future bills. So, for example, you're going to go into next month with your bill already paid, prepaid by the agency that picked up your assistance. So they'll pay your November bill, and they'll pay your December bill, and then your January and your February. So you won't have to take money out of your wallet for those items. And every time you don't have to take money out of your wallet for those items, it relieves strain on you financially. That's how we do it on this channel. You qualify. You qualify. And anyone who makes the effort qualifies. Anyone who doesn't make the effort doesn't really get anywhere. You know, it was back last year that I featured this first as a topic on this channel. And even then, I had a wonderful viewer who was in Louisiana or was Alabama, or I may actually had both actually. And they were in towns that were small, in counties that were small. But the state of Alabama and the state of Louisiana are not small states. And where was the money? At the state level. So they heard my recording. And where did they get the money? At the state housing authority. They got lots of it. One viewer was getting, she was a single individual, and her single apartment was almost $1,000. She got it fully paid for many, many months. Now, I remember when those recordings were airing last year, people said, I'm in this town in Louisiana, and there's no money. Of course there's no money, because it's a small town. I'm in this county, this county in Mississippi. There's no money. Of course, it's a small county. What viewers seem to have not really understood sometimes, this is a very rare occurrence. Let me say that, start the sentence over again. What some people who have not gotten renting utilities from have not realized is that when I say 6 places to reach out to, I really mean absolutely reach out to all 6 places. Why? Because I'm separating them from city, county, and state. I don't know where you live because you're on the other side of the recording, but I know there's a lot of people that are listening. They're in a very small town or a very small county. The federal government didn't give some money to small towns and small counties because it's proportional. For example, you have 4 states, 4 United States, and each state is not the same weight. Let's say one state has twice the number of residents as the other state. That means that state's going to get double the amount of cash from the federal government than the other state. Then they send it out to their counties in the state. If they got 6 counties that are 80% of the state's population, and 1 county that's like 200 people, they're not going to say anything to that 1 county that's 200 people. They're going to keep it at the state level for the residents to get it. And then of those big counties, they'll send it to the biggest cities in those counties. They're not going to send it to small cities. So the reason why I feature the 6 places, for many reasons, is to show you, get it from the first, get it from the second, get it from the third, keep on pushing. But many times, you may live in a very small city. There's no money in a small city. You may live in a small county. There's no money in the county, but there's absolutely money in the state level. Getting that money under third stimulus is so important, but also applying the features of this channel to your daily life, because we have so many viewers who have really taken it up a notch. It was back in September where you know how I watch out for you. I watch out for you far, far in advance. And in September, I said to you, go reach out to United Way to get those holiday gifts now, because they do them in September and October. By middle October, they were gone. Then I said by middle October, there's some holiday meals being available. Some places will get those holiday meals. And most places, those holiday meals are gone. But in some places, they're still available. There's still turkeys. There's still holiday meals. And some viewers got holiday meals like Eureka just about 7 days ago. Nonprofits. So be inventive across the board. But for now, dedicate your time allocation appropriately. Give yourself some time to pick up the phone and advocate. Give yourself some time to pick up the phone and advocate for your wallet. So call Casey Coons, Warren Sanders, Schumer. Advocate for the inclusion of that IRS stimulus check. And then give yourself some time to pick up the phone and get money from third stimulus. Get your bills paid right now. Just like Johnny's family members didn't even know it existed. Hadn't even heard about it. but listened to what Johnny had to say and said, wow, I'm going to do that. Just keep on telling me more. I will do that. And they listened, they learned, and they followed my advice that Johnny was imparting to them, and they each got $50,000. You can change that turnaround time. Every dollar helps for every person. As that one viewer said, this $4,000 made a big difference to me. A lot of people, every dollar helps. So get those sums of money. Meantime, join this channel as Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m., replacing Holidays LALATE returns at 11 a.m., replacing Home LALATE shortly. Sirloin coming back to this channel. Oh, but did you see those cows? Did you see those cows? Oh, you didn't see those cows? You didn't see those cows. There was a YouTuber in Santa Monica who brought cows to the beach here. I don't know what he was thinking. This YouTuber brought cows to the beach to promote the return of a popular cow character on his channel. Yeah, interesting. And the cow character has his own cryptocurrency. It was also to promote his new show, Holidays LA, coming back at 11 a.m., right before Afternoons LA at 1 and 3 o'clock. So why did this kid put cows on the beach in Santa Monica? Very interesting. If you didn't watch the video will help you explain the situation, or the video may confuse you even more. Let's take a look and see what it'll look like when those cows came to the beach in Santa Monica just days ago. And there you go. Join me as Holiday LA returns at 11 a.m. to this channel and Sirloin with new episodes as well. And with that, have a beautiful morning. Join me next on Countdowns Mornings LA and Mornings Live at 9 a.m. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. Recognize what your proud's incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful early morning and stay with LA.